96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
In my belly, I never don't get it done on Saturday. You get down, we'll wait till Monday. So when you're rushing around trying to get downtown, remember you ain't hurrying me. No, you ain't hurrying me, brother. You ain't hurrying me. I don't want no heart attack or ulcer in my belly. I never don't get it done on Saturday. You get down, we'll wait till Monday. So when you're rushing around trying to get downtown, remember you ain't hurrying me.
Good morning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. If you want to know what people, just listen to their music. Their music will tell you all about them. You ain't hurrying me. In fact, I believe that's why we don't have any real major league sports in the Bahamas. I experienced this my whole time in boarding school in England, right? There was just a lack of urgency. In fact, I had to tell some young ladies we were getting ready to do exams and we had this prep talk and our lecturers were, letting us know to not let ourselves be overwhelmed with fear or concern or angst about failing exams or not doing well. I tell them, man, look here, I'm from the Bahamas and I'm extending a personal and fail the exam. Come to Bahamas with me. We can find a job on the beach, sweeping up seaweed, and everything will be okay. But ain't nobody can stress out about these exams. And when I heard that song yesterday by the Dicey Doe Singers, You Ain't Hurrying Me, I realized that is the song of my people. You ain't hurrying me. Welcome to On the Clock with Erin, Greene. On the Clock, we engage organizations, institutions, social and cultural leaders, and ordinary people to better understand the impact of public policy, private sector development, and emerging social and consumer trends. On the Clock, we have conversations that help us understand and navigate a rapidly changing Bahamas. It is Friday, the 4th of March, 2022, and it is a Sports Friday with Eric Sawyer III and Sakani Nash. Now, last week I heard talks that maybe in the debate that I was cheating and I was giving myself an unfair advantage over Mr. Sawyer, Eric Sawyer III. So today I invited my friend and colleague, Mr. Sakani Nash, to join the debate conversation and perhaps give my boy, Mr. Sawyer, some support, because I know the two of them were not just star athletes, but they were star officials in the Justice Gardens Corner Boy Olympics. Good morning, Mr. Nash.
Good morning, Erin. How you doing?
I am good, thank you.
And good morning, Bahamas, and everybody who ain't wake up there this morning.
And good morning, Mr. Sawyer, wherever you are as you make your way here.
You ain't here. You're late.
You're late, and that means you already lost a point in the debate. So just a little housekeeping before we get started, Mr. Nash. I would like to say happy birthday, belated birthday to my cousins Liesel and Kevin B. Hannah. Happy belated birthday to my good friend Gina DeVoe. Happy belated birthday to the Honorable Wayne Monroe. I did miss your birthday. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to anybody who celebrated a birthday over the last week or few days. In the news this morning, before we get started, I think this is relevant to the sporting news. One or two of you may have seen me in the bushes outside your house trying to catch flamingos, for I am starting a flamingo racing league. Of course, I get in plenty practice for flamingo wrestling because catching flamingos is hard, right? But then I see in today's paper, the U.S. urges Bahamas to act against Russia. And so, of course, I brought my boy from the sport, Mr. Sakani Nash, because I want to know what type of acting do y'all expect us to do against Russia?
We got
That's-
that's what we do. We just act like they're now.
That's what I did. Like when my parents was coming to discipline me, that's what I would do. Like that's the best strategy. But Miyagi say, don't be there. But it's your parents. You can't run away.
When they say, y'all got to do something against Russia. Russia who? What are you talking about?
Rush what? No, don't rush nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about.
However, I am willing to join the fight. Since I already almost get locked up for trying to catch a thief, that's why I tell the police, catch. I have a catch and release, a flamingo catch and release program.
Right.
And since I train in to catch them, I will commit myself to training a fleet of flamingos to join the fight against Russia.
Or even better, some pigeons that can fly over and distribute.
Don't say that word. Don't say that word.
Hot nanny.
No, you can cause Russia. Look here, Russia.
Hot nanny.
Listen, I don't
All
know
over
why
the
this
troops.
bird
Hot nanny.
is being so aggressive.
We sending pigeons.
No. Yeah, but I mean, that'd be effective.
Yeah.
Most of all, because it's winter down there. What's interesting about this, right, is I was talking to an older friend, a historian.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, if people followed world history, then they would know that Russia had a really difficult time fighting in the winter. There's a time for it and everything.
Yeah,
like if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
a military strategist, right?
Yeah.
Then you know, like fighting.
There's times that it's like you just hunker down and
Yeah.
wait for the snow to blow by.
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, them pigeons, they could be really effective at a time like this. But yeah, we're gonna try and figure it out. But I told you all earlier in the week, I said my good Androsian housekeeper say, if her prime minister call up the country and say, it's time to defend your country, she getting ready, buddy, and she lining up whatever she could find as her arsenal, right, to do that.
Okay. That sounds like couple stick, couple rock.
Plenty conch shell. She from Andres. Plenty, see?
conch, yeah.
See, that's where you
Conch,
mistaken, sir.
Yeah.
Plenty
did say
limestone
Andres.
rock. Plenty Andres stone. We could David and Goliath them, right? And we used to that. See, we can't play with no technological weapons. No anything that require electricity is out for us. Right? But stone, Andres stone,
Believe
and
it.
Andres pine, slingshot.
And we
Central.
could skip plenty rock across the water, so you know that takes some skill. I don't know if that's helping defense or attacking people, but I know
You
we
just
could
have
do
to
it.
hit the right spot on the boat. You just got to hit the right spot on the boat. But I don't mean to make fun, right? Like we're not making fun of the people in Ukraine are experiencing, what people in Russia are experiencing, the ordinary people,
Yeah.
the regular people. See, we're not making fun of them, but I hope you can appreciate the critique, right? Because it's like rich old men is send young, handsome boys to war to dead on their behalf.
And to kill ordinary people who just ain't got nothing to do with their ambitions. They're just trying to live life.
Mr. Nash, we got to say good morning to our second guest.
Oh, you reaching?
Morning. What's going on?
Everything's good.
Morning, Mr. Sawyer. How are you?
I'm well.
Good,
I'm
good.
well. Did you know that Jonquil left Russia?
Yes.
She was in
She had a hard
Yeah.
time leaving
that's
Russia.
that's where she normally stays for her off season.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And she left yesterday.
She had a hard time leaving Russia as
Yeah.
well, right? It was a bit difficult for her. She said it's a little
Yeah.
bit difficult, even with her status as an athlete.
Wow.
But at the same time, right?
Yeah, but
Because I think, well, does this align with the narrative coming from the African Union, right? That they're concerned about the treatment of African people in Russia. But at the same time, while Russia knows about celebrity, right? Celebrities in Russia aren't necessarily sports stars, right? And so, like in the Bahamas, we gonna preference an athlete.
Yeah.
Right? Come on. There's only 7 band-aids. You could get all 7 because you fancy.
Right.
They may be like, we don't care.
the only thing they cared about was gymnastics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing they cared about. From
And
the
probably
days of
some
the
cold weather sports that we don't watch.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Curling. Yeah.
You know, another
I
story.
actually watch curling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You do watch curling?
Yeah, curling is pretty interesting.
Is it like,
Yeah.
do you feel
Condolences.
cool when you watch it?
No, seriously, it's like for people who like chess, like I like chess.
Okay.
Curling is like chess on ice.
Okay.
You know what I mean? With a little bit of sliding around and stuff like that. But
Okay.
yeah, once you know what they're doing, if you like strategy games, it's all about strategy. Then curling
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Okay, well, it looked like
But
golf
it's-
with no club.
For the regular people, though, I could understand why it'd be quite boring.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, but like cricket, you gotta understand the game.
Right.
Like for curling, you gotta understand ice. Like you understand your spouse. you gotta
Which is
know
always
how ice.
difficult.
Like if I breathe too hard, she gonna run hot, right? The
Right.
ice can melt.
Yeah.
You gotta understand ice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
you gotta squeegee the thing in.
Right.
Yeah,
And so
they
today,
know, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
I
brought
never
a.
play curling because it's in the cold.
Right.
And I'm from the Bahamas. What reason I got to be in the cold?
I don't like the cold anyway.
AC.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm
I just
thinking
like
AC.
air
I
conditioning.
don't
That's
even
it.
use AC much. So
That's why I watch it.
I don't like the cold.
Yeah. I got a bunch of games on, well, I call them games. Other people in the world call them professional sports. And they get paid.
Pillow fighting.
And slap fighting
Yeah.
is one game called kabaddi. And wait till I tell you about that.
What is kabaddi?
I get to tell you about that later. All I need you to know is that this may be the Bahamas' best shot at the Olympics, kabaddi. And I didn't know it, but I've been training for kabaddi not my whole life, because my Grammy wouldn't let me go off the front porch until I was like 13. So basically, as a young adult till now, I've been training for kabaddi. But gentlemen, I got to get into some local sports. I don't want the Bahamian people to think that we just come here to talk about the future. We got to talk about what some of these young people
What's
are
going on now?
yeah, right now. So, last week we talked about the ITF World Juniors pre-qualifying competition. That's lawn tennis competition
yeah.
where our young boys and girls went. Well, the results are this: the Bahamas boys finished second, and the
Nice.
girls finished sixth in that competition.
Way to go.
It was a really good
Team Bahamas,
showing.
Way to go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wait, trust me. Just to make it there, just to qualify to be there, is a feat unto itself.
Yeah. And tennis, it takes a lot of discipline. It looked like an easy game. It looked like just a fancy bat and ball, but it requires a lot of discipline and a lot of critical thinking as well. It's not just body, it's also brain. So congratulations to the boys team that finished second and to the girls team of Sarah Clark, Breanne Ferguson, and Rochelle or Rachel Thompson. Way to go, guys.
Yeah, somebody buy them around a cup and salt.
Absolutely.
At least.
Absolutely. Okay, another headline, big win for the Bahamas. So we were following the Bahamian national men's basketball team, trying to see if we was going to have to sell 1,000 baggy and salty to get them to the Olympics. This week or last weekend they played. They won their first game against the U.S. Virgin Islands. They lost their second game against the DR, but they had a good showing. And they're still looking positive for an Olympic qualifier. So they're not out the runnings yet, and we could possibly make it to the Olympics.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just some more training, just some more discipline, some more drills. We'll
Right.
get there.
And to the people who have the capacity to sponsor this team and
Please
this
do.
process,
Please do.
please do. This is the kind of thing that everybody gonna support you for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And say thank you.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't pull any specific stories from the paper today, but in the paper today, you could see DeAndre, his team
Aiden?
lost. Yeah, Aiden.
Yeah.
His team lost, but apparently he had a stellar showing. In fact, Buddy had a stellar showing this week. Even Kai Jones, playing for the Hornets, had a stellar showing.
Do you know we have a player in the NBA with some Bahamian roots?
I mean,
he
we got
was the
plenty.
third pick in the draft last year. He plays for the Rockets. Let me see.
Yeah?
Let me see. No,
Nice.
no, not the Rockets. The Cavaliers.
Okay,
Yeah,
I even
man.
forget
Where
the
you
Cleveland
people from?
Cavaliers.
Right here.
We're right here. We got plenty of islands.
Oh, well, I mean, I just mean right here.
Oh, okay.
Like he just have Bahamian roots. I'm not
Straight
sure.
up.
Okay,
Exactly where.
So you may be
Of
second
Evan Mobley.
generation.
Yeah,
third
Evan
gener-
Mobley. Yeah,
Okay.
and his big brother is still in college. Yeah,
What?
he was said to have the most promise coming out of the draft last year.
Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let's speak to the sponsors again. I want you all to notice something. This thing is like it is travel in families. It's like a spirit of winning. A winningest spirit has fallen upon certain families in the Bahamas. And we're going to need you all sponsors to be ready to sponsor an entire family. This is not the first time I've seen that happening. You see that boy named Rick Fox?
Yeah.
He's bad, you know. I mean,
Yeah, man, he
he's
was
super
good. He
talented.
was good.
He's
He was
super
good. Yeah,
underrated
man.
defensive
man.
player. I'd like to thank myself for that because I played one game with that boy, and I tell him, buddy, if I wasn't like 35 pounds overweight, He's going to destroy you with defense on this court. But Rick Fox has a brother named Erin Fox. And Erin Fox, unfortunately, had an accident when he was living in the Bahamas when we were young. Right in our neighborhood, we watched it, right? Erin Fox was pegged and on track to be twice as good as his brother, Rick Fox.
Yeah, and Rick Fox was a star for the Celtics before he signed with the Lakers, you know.
Yeah.
He was a star.
I only played one game with Rick Fox. You don't even remember that. But I backside beat plenty time by his little brother. And his little brother was going to be much better than him if he had made it there.
Wow.
You know, these things, they move in families.
Just got the talent.
Right. And so it's important for us to understand, like, how do we build a culture of appreciation for sports and building sports talent, right? Identifying it and building. We got to do that because we don't tend to see them until they dunking off your head.
Exactly.
Till they abroad, but we need
like I said last week, we need to farm guards here.
Yeah.
Because height here is not. We don't super tall people. We're not Russian. You know, we have 7 feet tall fellas coming out every year. You know, DeAndre Ayton is one person every 4 or 5 years, but we still have fellas my height who are considered tall on the courts here. But in reality, I'm Steph Curry's height.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
You know, and
That's it.
I used to play with I used to play a lot of pickup ball all around the place. I used to play with Chris Bodie from St. Anne's. That's my boy, and his friends and thing, right?
Yeah.
And Chris always, after the show last week, I thought about that. Chris always had this vibe, right? Like they want him to play center, they want him to play defense, but he's a god.
Yeah.
He's as tall as he was.
We need to farm guards here because if you anywhere close to 6, go in the post. Yeah, I'm going to throw you the ball. Go in the post. Don't be out there dribbling. You can't dribble. But in the NBA, everybody watching Steph Curry do it. Everybody watching Chris Paul do it. These fellas are my height.
And if you notice, all of the athletic associations now are making a point to build a culture of appreciation for their sport, to expose to the wider public how their sport or discipline can also add to the tourism product. And that God farm, buddy, you could imagine every summer
That's what I'm
thousands
saying.
of young people are trying to get to the Bahamas.
You know me, I as a farmer, any kind of farming you're doing, I down with that.
Right, exactly.
Let's grow it.
Let's grow it.
Yeah, man, let's
That's
grow
a
it.
crop ready to be harvested, man.
Okay. I got a text here, gentlemen. I can read it. All jokes aside, Miss Greene, the part we have to play is mostly not facilitating any Russian money, especially as there's an effort to remove them from SWIFT, the global money transfer system. There's also the importance of moral support to show that we stand against tyranny. Okay.
If we seize the money, we can keep it.
That's so important. Also, I tend to not want to participate in
Just don't fix
systems
the roads
that
with it.
seize people's money when I personally or collectively as a country will never have the authority to actually seize anybody's money. Like I could say, yeah, y'all should seize their money, but I'm never going to be able to say, yeah, no, don't seize, or yes, seize the money. In fact, you could probably come and seize my money next. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need, saying that we need a different politic.
I
That's
just
all.
want to know if we could keep it. I mean, because we keep it, we give it to the sports people.
But listen, I thought
If
hiding
somebody
money was.
hides it.
Yeah, man.
I
We
thought
could get
hiding
this
money
farm
was a
going.
sport.
Well, that's a sport for them, but we ain't got no money to hide, so we don't know that sport.
Right.
But
Yeah, we
if
could
they
give
got
it
plenty
them.
money sitting in our banks that we could seize and we
Exactly.
could say, hey, we got a sport we could give it to.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
And
Let's
then
get it
next thing you
together.
know, our basketball team them got everything they need to go to the Olympics.
Please, man.
Okay, I got a text here that says, great show as usual. Now, you know we in the Bahamas is play numbers, so it would be unappreciative not to give the ages of those people's birthdays. No. I thought you was going to say we might as well make playing numbers the national sport, right? Because we are great mathematicians. We in the Bahamas have an affinity for mathematics and computation. Don't slunk. Don't think of yourself as stupid. That's why we play dominoes, backgammon, chess, checkers. When you say to put your girlfriend on layaway plan, that game we play, even that is about the numbers, buddy.
That's dating. That's what they try to lie to themselves and say.
Yeah, probability and statistics. If I date 7 men at one time, what is the probability that I will like one of them enough to get married to them?
Or at least get your rent paid.
Yeah, that's a listen. Let's get back to these young people, man. I got another headline. In fact, I'm supposed to remind you all every Friday, All of the sports headlines I'm reading come from the Nassau Guardian sports section, where the sports team do a great job of harnessing, gathering all of the local and Bahamians abroad sports news. So, 3 goals for Hepburn. It was a clean sweep for Jamila Hepburn as she captured gold medals at the 2022 New England Intercollegiate Swimming and Diving Association Championships. The Bahamian collegiate swimmer, a freshman for the Stony Hill College Skyhawks, won the 50, 100, and 200-yard breaststroke events in the 4 days of competition. Another headline, Bahamians win medals at conference championships. That's looking at our track and field athletes. We got some speedy by them out there. And then the Bahamas Roadmasters take part in the Boston Marathon. I think this story is highlighting so the Roadmasters are runners,
Okay.
not cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because some of y'all drive your
I thought
car.
that was some car people.
Yeah.
I wonder if O'Neill went to that.
And some of y'all is run, though some of y'all is be in the road on your foot like you own the road. But this is a local running club, the Bahamas Roadmasters, and we say congratulations to them for taking part in the Boston Marathon, which was a virtual event. So basically you run it in your own country. Yeah. I like that.
Wow.
We could do that. I think that's an event that has the potential to build up sports tourism market, because I can be Bahamian and I can be dead petty. I could be like,
we could show the background of the Bahamas.
right, but I could be like, you
While
could
they're
run the
running.
Boston Marathon in Boston, or you could come run the Boston Marathon in the Bahamas
Exactly.
with the sun and the thing.
Exactly.
Now they're gonna say, look here, marathon runners though don't like extreme heat, right? Like
True, yeah.
a lot of North American and global North runners don't like extreme heat. But maybe we're gonna open up, expand the space, and not cater primarily to runners from the global South who used to running in the heat, and create a space for global North athletes to prepare themselves for a different type of competition, to acclimate and get used to running in a warmer climate.
More farming.
Right, so they could go
More farming.
abroad and
You know what
go
I'm saying?
south.
Grow.
But look here.
More farming.
Do you think just because I bring this farmer by here?
No, I mean, like, I started to talk last week. So
True.
Now this is just,
Yeah, I won't grow it all.
He just slide in there.
yeah.
I won't
But-
grow it all.
And I hope the government is looking at that aspect, because it's obvious from the decision to continue diverting resources to the stadium. Serious about sports and sports tourism,
Yes.
without a doubt.
They're kind of serious, I think.
Well, no, they serious. They just don't. They serious in their mind, and in their heart. They just don't know how to translate it. They just don't know how to achieve it, how to realize it, and pull all the parts together. But that idea,
get
Mr. Sawyer, that's a great element, because there are all
Thank you.
kinds of levels, right, to sporting. It's not just the competition,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just the environment that they would be able to run in.
right?
Some people have never been. I've met people from around the world that saved their entire lives to come here.
Yeah. I see. I gotta begin to that caller right now. That caller, I sure that caller calling to ask me if we putting jacks and hopscotch up for debate for the national sport. Producer, let's go to the caller. Caller, you on the clock.
Hey, Erin, good morning to your folks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that, well, first of all, I congratulate the team who doing performing well and representing me around the globe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that we having this baseball stadium to be finished by July, and the softball at the same time. But also, I heard the Minister of Sports looking at having a Bahama game again, which is very exciting for me because I enjoy when they first introduced it
Yes, buddy.
on the Peter Battle.
Yes, that was
So-
fun.
I think the Bahama game, this is me first called the Peter Battle Bahama game
Okay.
because he is the master planner of Bahama game.
Okay.
So remember, Bonker need to say it first.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy that they're doing that. And there's one more thing, Erin.
Yeah.
You mentioned. I slipped my memory as the guys were talking.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting, but all I can say, well, maybe come up to me next on Monday. But you mentioned the peanuts. You mentioned something to do with peanuts.
With peanuts?
No, painting.
Oh, painting.
Right.
I mean, no, that's
Graffiti?
that was illegal. Don't
that
worry
was
about that.
illegal.
That's-
I thought you're serious, man, Erin.
no,
I take note of it. No. Oh my God.
no, man. I can try to remember. I can try to remember what it was I was referencing.
but other than that, we're on the right track with this baseball, and we on the right track.
Yeah.
And also, I understand my company BTC be launching 5G soon. That'll be powerful.
What? 5G? That's going to be
Yeah.
horrible. But only for one reason.
No, Erin.
I can tell you why. Because our Bahamians, are we ready to move at the speed of 5G? See, I do not want my money moving faster than I'm moving. That's a
Erin Greene.
recipe for disaster.
Erin Greene, I carry the speed of 5G right now as I talk to you.
You are. But look here, you always...
The fabric to the home
Yeah,
is similar
yeah.
5G. But what the 5G be going is on your cell phone.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But I'm carrying that now, and I do broadcast, and that's an awesome thing to be broadcasting video clear as day. I know these gentlemen have BTC. You're not BTC, thing, right?
Don't ask...
You all experienced it before, right?
Don't ask them that because they don't never answer my call, Pumpkin Eater. There's only text back, WhatsApp.
Well,
I don't know
sure
they
you
have.
go to somebody's house who have Flow TV.
Okay, but listen, I would like to thank you for this ad for BTC this morning.
Wait, let's get it. Let's drop that. But
Yeah.
let me close with this. Okay.
Yeah.
The summertime is going to be interesting. Carifta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that we're having a Carifta again.
Carifta's
Down
going to
in
be on
Jamaica.
Easter weekend, yeah.
Down in Jamaica. I'd love for you to do some live drops down in Jamaica.
Boy, look here. What I'm going to try and do
Right.
is, what I can see, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking bad about Jamaica. So I can't go to Jamaica. But
You talk about it, but I love Jamaica.
I was just trying to get them excited about playing Porkin, That's all. I was just trying to get them excited.
Now
But
you're fuck those people.
that's a great idea. I'm going to try and figure out, I'm going to work with the sports team. And
the Porkin. Let me join you seriously though.
yeah,
I going to be a part backgammon. I'm a professional backgammer,
yeah.
and checkers. All them should be a part of the Bahama game.
Yeah, without a doubt.
For the elderly, 'cause everybody should participate. The elderly
Yeah,
is good in checkers,
definitely
good in
Porkin.
Yeah, boy,
backgammon,
now you got it.
Definitely
Yeah.
good
Porkin.
in dominoes.
Yeah.
That should be a division.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
board games and table games are official sports, and they have global international competitions
Yes,
and
they got
professional.
global money too.
Now, look here, I gotta go. We
And
just
also
lose a
chess,
caller.
Chess.
Okay, but look here, I just lost a call. I gotta go. But thank you very much for your contribution.
That do it, Erin. Take note of that.
I will do, and you
All right,
probably
have
can
a
call
good
back
day.
when I tell these people what the game kabaddi is. Producer, let's go to a break, and when we come back from the break, we're going to restart our national sport debate with Mr. Eric Sawyer III, Mr. Sakani Nash. You're on the clock with Erin Greene. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our clients. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Girl,
girl, you see how Cora eye look funny, all black up yesterday?
But she say she bump into a wall when she's running after the churn them.
Yeah, but last Saturday, you see her arm was all black and blue, right?
So what you saying? You think something wrong between her and Jack?
I ain't sure, but you know Jack is a jealous man. I hear him and Cora last Friday. I hear him say he hear Cora have eyes for Junior.
Now you know that ain't true. Cora is a good woman, does mind her business, take care of them churn, and go to church every Sunday. So what you think we should do?
I think we should report Jack, you know. Cora don't say nothing, but silence hides violence, and we don't want to line up in the cemetery.
Business, then Jack come after me, and I land up next to Cora.
No, man, we could call a text Crime Stopper. And remember, we can even get some grocery money for our tip.
Remind me again, how does this work?
We can call them in Miami at 328-TIPS or 328-8477. Or when we in the island, call toll-free at 300-TIPS or 300-8477. And if you don't have no minutes, use the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and we could text them, and the messages get on mix up before it leave your phone, so nobody can know what you saying.
So what we waiting on then? Let's go earn some grocery money.
Good morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. You are on the clock with Erin Greene and Eric Sawyer III, and joining us today is Mr. Sakani Nash. And we're talking about perhaps one of the greatest ideas to be raised in the last 10 years, Mr. Sawyer.
Thank you.
Boy, it's a good thing you come early because I was going to procure that idea.
Say procure. Yeah,
You know?
I like it.
Yeah.
Teeth.
So on a note, Mr. Lockhart, call that thing you wanted to talk about. I didn't get a chance to call you during the break. I also have a text here that says, great show as usual. Question, if a Russian billionaire asks you to use your account before they own get freezed by the government, what would you and your guests do? Okay, first of all, keep my guests out of this. This is how you get in trouble. You bring too many people in the discussion.
Thank you.
Second of all, it all depends on how quickly I could get the money out of the account and how many people I know in the bank.
Right.
I can be honest with you. It's not like hiding other people's money has not been the national sport of the Bahamas historically and culturally for as long as Bahamas existed.
Yeah, man, so long as Republicans in power, we in power.
Right, well, let me just make a note. 10% of whatever I procure is for the church to do with as they wish.
Yes.
And they could, it's the church. Whatever y'all want to do, once the church down, we could do it.
Yes.
Because if you winning money or you're procuring money, do something for the church. Do
Yes.
something for the poor. Do something for the people.
I'm just going to continue to say,
Yes. Absolutely.
I just wonder how much we could keep.
Okay, so the government is considering changing the national sport. And in preparation for the public consultation and the national debate that will be hosted, I am fielding opportunities for debate. Mr. Sawyer has offered a strong argument, Mr. Nash, for basketball to be the sport. And I was cheating, decided to join his team. And I offer that as long as there was a Bahamian, and he was one of the original members,
Yes.
then basketball have a good chance of being our national sport. I am offering swimming because, as you could see, these little children all over the place, like they had to swim from Long Island to Nassau to find a wife. I also offering sailing because historically, right, that has been our thing. We build up South Florida. We teach them people how to build boat. Like sailing is a big thing. And then we got parking on the list.
Of course.
We got baseball and softball on the list.
All-rounders.
shout out to Shad for walking.
Rambo, the biggest arm in the world I ever saw.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether parking evolved from baseball and softball or softball evolved from parking. I think it's that those sports evolved from parking.
Parking come first.
Because those sports are too formal. You could park with almost anything.
I grew up parking with old rotten tomatoes by some of my friends. That used to be fun.
Ouch.
Yeah. No.
Smelly.
They splat on you. Yeah. It's when
Yeah.
you play parking with green tomato, that is hurt. And that's how you can do turns find out, then you know what coming next.
Yeah.
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 I'm very good at not getting parked. And see, that's how
There's
I
an
train.
art to that, you know. There's an art to not getting balked. There's an art to easing the the pain of a pork.
Yeah.
You know, the
much so.
hands behind the head, the back arch.
Yeah.
You know.
So I went to boarding school, and one of our sports modules was sailing. So they took us out on this lake in October. They put wetsuits on us. In fact, not even a wetsuit. They put a dry suit. You know what a dry suit is? A dry suit is what you wear when it's too cold to wear a wetsuit, right? They put a dry suit on us, and I was a little chunky. They had no Bahama Mama dry suit, so I had to wear a wetsuit, right? And then we go in this boat, and it's an odd number of people. Now, I want to say, the only time I cut my eye at my boarding school, I went to boarding school in England, at my boarding school people, is at this moment, where they didn't want to pair up with me to go on the boat.
Why? Are you saying you're on the boat alone?
The little prejudice. I had to go on the boat with the invigilator, with the teacher. Well, they think they're like island people. They didn't trust the power of the Bahamian spirit. So I had to go with the teacher. And his boat was much larger than the little thing they had us practicing on with the rubber tiller and thing. And so it got to the point where we were going to learn how to right-size a boat after it had been capsized.
No. That means you got to go in cold water.
No, you see, he was a Bahamian. I told everybody right away, first of all, what we're going to learn to do today is how not to capsize.
Exactly.
And that is the Bahamian way to do it. So I don't learn how to
We ain't trying to intentionally put ourselves in the water, in the boat.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson.
Right.
I ain't trying to ease the pork. I trying to not get pork at all. And so...
Okay, so my idea for a national sport, I think the good consideration should be dashing.
The martial arts?
Yeah, dashing.
What you know about that?
See, we all grew up dashing, right? Now, sometime over I know when I was younger, girls never used to play dashing. But with all these videos I see in now, girls them carrying on, you know what I mean? Look like girls like to play dashing too. So to me, it's a national sport. Everybody has played dashing at some point. Well, so we need to just formalize dashing, which is wrestling, not wrestling. Wrestling is something else.
This dashing is...
But dashing is wrestling.
Right. It's wrestling. See, for me, dashing was a martial art.
Well, you could call it a martial art.
Now, for Pauline Davis, she say dashing is something separate.
Yeah. No, that's other kind of dashing.
Because that's how I learned how to dash.
That's like dashing when you get fined in the mango tree that you ain't supposed to be in, and you dash off. That's another type of dashing.
That's another type of dashing. Yeah. Now, I mean, I will tell you what I considered for a long time as a child to be dashing. The CAFL. Them fellas don't tackle no day. Back in the day, them your toenail.
You on the ground.
You on the ground, son. That's dashing.
Right, push you down.
Yeah, but no, not even a push that. It's a drag.
Yeah.
Right, see, because
whatever they got, you come and dance.
I'm skilled in the double dash. I don't ever enter the dash. That don't make any sense unless there's a second dash. Because I can dash you to the ground and then I can dash away.
Well, no, because originally dashing as a child is you either make somebody give up or you pin them or make them give up. That's just
Well, that's what dashing is.
I done reform that. I can dash you to the ground, like I can trip you and throw you down, and then I dashing away to find a teacher to just not be around you because you're trying to kill me. And that's how I learned the sport. But listen, I think we have Mr. Lockhart joining us. We got a caller joining us. Good morning, caller. You're on the clock.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all. Still here.
Good, sir.
I just wanted to comment. I heard you were talking about our basketball program, a little bit about that.
The men's national program.
Yeah, the national program.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea of the process? I mean, getting from there to get to the World to qualify then.
No, in fact, I've been looking for a place that outlines the process. All I could determine through reading the newspaper was that these FIBA qualifiers, the qualifiers they're in now, are very important, and this is a part of the process to get to the Olympics.
Exactly.
Right.
Right? We don't have that. Okay? We talk about DeAndre, Buddy, Kai now. Kai is still struggling.
Okay.
Okay, he plays for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Okay, he is struggling. But, it's a learning process for him because he's only been playing ball for maybe 6 years, if that.
Yeah.
Okay? And he can sing, actually. He's very good at that. But my thing is this. The coach of this country, let's take Mario out the mix, okay, don't have a clue about basketball. And the reason why I'm saying that, 6 years ago, the government brought in just about actually 8 years before that, they brought in every high school, all Division I coaches in the country, to go to a clinic at C.I. Gibson to be qualified level 1 FIBA in order to coach your national team. You have that certificate.
Okay.
Okay, let's fast forward. Okay. At the exam, a guy from Puerto Rico came in at the exam. We had a class for about 3 or 4 days, and at the exam, examination day, 10 minutes into the exam, the gym was basically empty. All right? Everybody did the exam. 10 minutes later, it was basically empty.
Okay.
Anyway, I called Mario about a week or so later, and I said, hey, Mario, I took that exam. I need to know what I did,
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward, he said, boy, Ruzi, you got like a 98. All right? He said he passed everybody. And 5 of you got a 90 grade. I said, okay. I said, he passed everybody. When all that told me was he didn't want to embarrass us. Because during that session, he was asking every day for 5 volunteers. And for the 3 days that he asked those questions, just 5 guys got up.
Man.
Out of the entire crew that the government brought in. And I heard they brought them in so that they, at the end of the basketball season, the school season, they would get a stipend of about $1,500 or something like that. So they brought in everybody, paid the whole 99 yards for them. Okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, Erin, right after that, 2016, I got a call back from Mario again, saying if you want to be recertified, you got to come to the gym. A.F. Adley. Not A.F. Adley, Kendall. Okay, went there, and they had Basketball Beyond Borders brought in James Borrego. You know who that is?
No.
He coaches Charlotte Hornets right now.
Okay.
That's Kai's coach.
All right.
All right, he was the assistant with Popovich when they won those rings.
Okay.
Okay, well, a renowned coach now. Okay. When LeBron beat Golden State that year, Jerron Lou's assistant coach was Bolin.
Yes.
They brought him there.
Yeah.
Anyway, came to the gym. And Borrego got up and he said, I'm going to show you guys how we start the workout. And I went right into our offense. He said, can I get 2 volunteers? What would you expect from us if we want to go to that next level? And
Everybody stand up.
At that level, ask that question. Everybody in the crowd to go up and volunteer?
Yeah, man. Mr. Lockhart.
Hey.
Look here, let me call you back. You need your own show. We need.
No.
Yeah, man. And not yours without me. I mean, I need to bring you on as a guest so that we can focus on this conversation and build it out.
The country needs to know these things.
Yeah.
We're just hiding behind things that should be exposed in a nice way because we don't have a clue about basketball. When we coach from the high school level to the level that we want to get, when those coaches on the court do not have a clipboard in their hand to draw up a play for these kids, we are lost.
I got you. I understand what you're saying.
All right?
Absolutely.
You got my number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for the call. And ultimately, what I want to say is this, is that something that I talked about with you earlier this morning, Mr. Nash, before I think maybe even before you came in, and you were here. You could have the intention. You could know what it is that you want to do, and you could be committed to it in your heart, and just not have the capacity, not have the tools
to execute,
and realize. I mean that you don't believe in your heart that it's important, that it needs to be done, and that you need to give your all to it. And in those spaces can develop like a type of shame about yourself, feeling inadequate. And feeling like you should be able, but you don't feel like you could in that moment. But it's our job to support people through that space, right? And that's how you create world-class athletes. That's how a young, talented bruh becomes a world-class, recognized athlete, because he got a team of people that can recognize his or her deficiencies in the moment and help them fill those gaps and push them forward.
And like was said by the caller, be certified in doing that.
Right. And so I appreciate the critique that the caller is providing, and that's necessary. It's the same thing for artists and musicians, right? It ain't just your talent. And it ain't just that you could get 50 or 100 or 7,000 people to come and listen to you sing. Is a whole bunch of elements that have to be taken care of, have to be in place for the entire dream to be realized. So I want to thank you for calling in, Mr. Lockhart, and we're going to figure out how we could expand this conversation in a way that not only grows my knowledge of the industry and the sport, but helps to grow the industry and the sport itself. So I'm going to reach out to you. I got a text that says, no baseball or softball. We need to codify our own rules for bat and ball. And they spell it Battenball. Bat and ball.
See, bat and ball, or the other name I know it as is rounders.
Right, and that's where, and that's where softball come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the what's the word now? Origin.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so look here. I have a list of sports that are professional sports. People get paid to do these things that I think, if we don't consider them to be our national sport, we need to consider to be preparing young people and athletes to compete at the international stage and maybe even the Olympics. Now, the Olympics is now recognized online or digital online sports as an Olympic sport. But the Bahamas ain't ready for that yet because we can't keep keeping the electricity on is the sport that we play in right now. So we haven't matured to that yet. But the first on my list is pillow fighting. This January 29th was the first ever International Pillow Fighting Championships.
It was on ESPN, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
they got like little rocks in the pillows and stuff.
No,
It's just like fluffy feather pillows.
Yeah, like you got to duck
Bullshit
one.
head.
Like you got to duck one, and and it depends on where you hit. And like the head is like 5 points, and the midsection was like 3.
What?
Yeah, man.
They wearing goggles?
No
goggles.
I mean, you could buzz people in the eye.
Yes.
You know, 'cause when I used to pillow fight, when I used to
Yeah.
pillow fight, that was the best place to hit people. You hit them in your eye, then you keep buzzing them after that.
Because they can't see
You
nothing.
get the pillow to buzz.
Oh, well, no,
So
that's
One
too much
swing, that's
mess.
10 points.
That's too much mess.
No. They fight in an indoor type of
So there's
thing.
Wow.
They fight
So
on a
you
large
tear, if you
mattress.
tear the pillow on somebody, you get more points.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
So
I
listen,
should look into that, right? That sounds like fun.
This is so fascinating. This is only one form of pillow fighting that we saw at the Pillow Fight Championship this January 29th I think it was in Florida. In California, listen, the World Pillow Fighting Championships is one of the most highly anticipated events of the summer with a history of over 50 years of mud splashing, feathers flying, and great fun. This one takes place in Kenwood, California. And they take a pole, they take a timber, like a tree limb, not tree limb, the whole body of the tree.
Yeah.
And they lay it against a horizontal plane. Thank you, Mr. Farmer. And you you straddle the pole, and you have to pillow fight your opponent straddling the pole over the mud.
Oh, so if you fall off, you lose.
You lose, yeah.
Which is
And you got to bid.
And boy,
Which is why I think Bahamians will do best at that one. Because first of all, you get in trouble if you get paid too much. And if you get Grammy good pillow mess up, you're in problems. Also,
Because you and the pillow getting in the mud.
did you know that there's a slap fighting championship?
That'll do well here in the Bahamas.
This is what I'm thinking. Except for the insurance part. It's not one Bahamian insurance company decided you want to be a face slapping champion. Not one. Don't worry, trust me. I know that.
I know what's wrong with them people.
And while I'm concerned about it's a degree of aggression, right? But I like to juxtapose the two. The first one, pillow fighting, because the originators of the pillow fighting championship say the reason they start the pillow fight championship is because they know people want good combat action, but they don't want the blood and the gore and the injuries. Right? And so pillow fighting fits in. So I think the slap fight would be great for one segment.
Well, the slap fight it's not like you could put your hand all the way.
No, you can't.
But you got to stand there like it's
Yeah. You
like
can't
you don't
run
get a
up.
running slap.
Yeah, no, none of that.
No, it's not a
So
running
it's just
slap.
straight arm power.
Yeah.
Right here, me versus you, right here, straight arm
I ain't
power.
playing that game.
Yeah, no. But that one's an interesting one. But I got more. Arm wrestling. We could do that here.
Yeah.
I think, though, we need to have a competition, a special category for women. But only the woman who has cooked rice in a pot big enough to sit two of your children in.
So the breakfast women.
Who have that big arm from stirring the pot. A special, I will not arm wrestle or slap fight any of those women.
And all the carpenters.
Yeah,
Because
no.
boy, them who throwing hammer all day, every day.
All day, no.
No,
Yeah, if your boss will not buy you an electric hammer, nail gun, no, you can't compete. So there is a competition called wife carrying, and it doesn't involve bills or wallets or anything like that. I know what y'all man is think. Originating in Sonkajärvi, Finland, wife carrying is a sport in which male competitors race to carry their wives through an obstacle course.
I think they do that in Japan too.
Yeah. And at the championships, winners receive the traditional prize of the wife's weight in beer.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
5 times her weight in cash.
My God.
And an entry into the world championship in Finland.
See, we used to do wife ducking over here.
Yeah.
They say we don't carry our wives, we duck them. That's
Yeah.
just a part of the culture.
Absolutely. Okay, another sport, underwater hockey. Anybody who has dive for crawfish?
Yeah.
Can be very good at this.
Yeah,
Very
they can
much
play
so.
that.
Yeah.
So we should be doing that. It's also known as the octo-push.
We
Yeah.
could do that. We could.
Yeah.
I know Bahamians good in that.
Shin kicking.
I'm playing that.
Originated
Little
in-
children has played that myself.
In England in the 17th century.
They was bored.
It involves 2 contestants. No, it's like
There's
you
no
you
internet.
you
There's no internet.
you don't have any weapons. Like you're very angry, but you don't have any weapons.
They had no trees to climb.
And you can't throw things because you can't afford to replace it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's throwing a tantrum. That's all that is.
Then there's a man versus horse marathon. So
Let's throw this
some,
up. That don't make no sense.
it does. I mean, it technically it didn't at first.
A man versus horse.
Right, so
Horse
these
to
2
win.
of them was in a bar in Wales. And I think that's the most important part of the story.
Yeah,
That's
Is in
where
a
it
bar,
always
right?
starts. Yeah.
And the bar owner overheard these 2 boys talking, and the boy say, man, I believe a man could beat a horse in a race. And the other guy was like, okay, that's 7 bears, stop. And he's like, no, over a long distance and a mixed terrain, it's possible for a man to beat a horse. Well, so the bar owner was like, let's do it. Nobody could beat the horse until I think they brought in a bicycle. Yeah. That was the first time. They had to bring in a bicycle, and that was the first time that somebody could beat the horse.
And all that proves is when you got rum and you ain't got nothing else to do, you can find.
Doing that a man could beat a horse
Yeah, I remember
over a short distance.
Carl Lewis did it, I think, in 60 meters.
Yeah, right. In 40. I could
The horse
beat.
beat him in 50.
I could beat a
in
horse,
60.
a man, or a pot cake over 40 meters. Man, no, producer. We cannot be out of time, man.
Already?
Because I haven't told you all about the sport kabaddi. And that's an ancient Indian sport where it's 7 players, all right? And then there's 2 teams of 7. And so I am the offense. And I have to go into the box and touch all 7 of y'all and get out the box without any of y'all touching me in one breath. And I know I could win that because I done been to a number of dances in the Bahamas where I had to like get to the bar and get back outside with
And
my
not get
drink
feel up.
safe and not get molested by these hands. Also,
Yeah, that sound like British though. That was a game we played.
in honor of the sport, there's a sport here. Rock, paper, scissors. But in Justice Gardens, we call it crab, pot cake, Joneser.
Yep.
And Bahamians could play that because we have our own version. Text here says, hi, remember the Shah of Iran. We are a safe haven. So we like Switzerland. We the Bahamas. Come here, because we ain't bombing, ain't nobody bombing us.
Can we keep their money? That's all I want to know.
Boy, great show as
10%,
usual.
10%.
I'm not going to tell people our national sport is sweethearting, but our national sport is making fun of ourselves instead of delving into introspection. Erin, I have a great idea for a national sport. It includes water. And then the person can tell me they can't tell me because somebody already tried teeth the idea. So when you're ready, let us know what your national sport is.
Dashing is the national
Text
sport.
I still say basketball.
Dashing.
Absolutely. And somebody said slap fight would help cut down this violence. Come to the arena and
Dash
have
it.
you slap out.
No.
That's why boxing, we need to promote boxing to give people alternate ways to
get out their
process
frustration.
frustration and
then
emotions.
again, proper training is necessary for
Exactly.
that.
Absolutely. And that's why, bring it in the ring, do it properly,
Talking and
discipline
dashing.
yourself.
I'm telling you, all the aggression going after that.
Absolutely. Anyway, Mr. Sawyer, Eric Sawyer III, Mr.
Yeah.
Sakani Nash.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will pay I will validate your parking and pay for your fee to catch the ferry back to Justice Gardens. Producer, thank you. Guardian Radio AM is up next with host Cecil Newry. Thank you for staying tuned. Have a great day, Bombers.